Hello, my name is Heather Yurko, and in this segment we're going to be talking about maintenance of the hair extensions and the ways to properly take care of them at home. If you were to come in and get the extensions, after the service you can't shampoo your hair for 2 days. The extensions just need time to get used to the hair and regulate to the scalp and the hair strand itself. Always use anti-tap after every wet treatment. The anti-tap you can also buy as a part of your extension service, and it's a pH regulator for your hair. So after you go swimming or you shower, say you take the hair out of the towel, you just kind of spray all over and hit your bonds, and then you try to dry, as quickly as possible. And you mix the anti-tap with water. The third thing for at-home maintenance is you need to brush with great lengths. It says about 3 times a day with a recommended brush. So we also sell the brush here that you can purchase when you do get your extensions done. And it's very important that you go with the brush, you go over the hair extensions. A lot of times with hair extensions, people just want to brush down here. But the extensions will sit up here at first, and then they will start to grow out with your natural hair. And it's important that you take your brush and you really get in there and go over where the bonds are. This is important because it reduces matting and tangling, and those are key components that can definitely damage the hair and have you lose hair as you have your extensions in. So brushing is very important. It says no ponytails tight or high on top of the head, no ponytails put up and left up wet. I wear a ponytail all the time. They just don't want you to do a ponytail really tight. It causes strain on the hair extensions. It's not good for your hair. Nobody really ever has an issue with this, but nothing too tight where it could be causing stress on the hair extensions. And then you can use curling irons, flat irons, all that stuff. But this right here, this little piece that I showed you earlier, the synthetic version of the keratin, this softens if heat is on it. So it's just important that when you're flat ironing or curling, you put the tool under where that bond is going to be. And at first, that's very easy because all of your bonds are right next to your scalp. But as your bonds start to grow out, it's just important to remember that you have to keep your hot tool below where the bond sits. The next two are they kind of go hand in hand. If you're constantly in a damp environment, that could lessen the longevity of hair extensions. I normally say this is for swimmers. This normally doesn't pertain to very many people. It's okay to go swimming. It's okay to get in the ocean as long as you try to dry your hair air dries, and it's not wet for a solid 24 hours. And again, that could just cause bond breakdown and lessen the longevity. And then the last one for at-home maintenance is pretty important. The average person loses 50 to 150 strands of hair a day. So with that being said, if you start to lose some hair just because of your natural shedding process, more than likely your extension is going to come out if it's attached to 30 hairs on your head and maybe 25 of those come out. That extension's probably going to fall out. And when it falls out, it's going to be wrapped up like we bonded it to the hair. And when it's wrapped up, you're going to see little pieces of hair sticking out. And at the ends, it's going to have little bulbs on it. And many people think that that is because that extension pulled your hair out because you see those little hairs. Those hairs were already the naturally released hairs. It didn't necessarily pull your hair out. So I just think that's important to remember. With this home care maintenance, if you are brushing, you're using the right shampoos and conditioners, and they just recommend for shampooing, you use a sulfate-free shampoo. But if you're doing all of those things, your extensions will last a lot longer and you will not have damage from the hair extension.